This year, things were a little less eventful in my studio. There were definitely some changes, things rearranged, and some goals met, but at the end of last year, I told myself I'd refrain from setting schedules, focus on my health and writing, and let hobby projects happen as they would. That made for a less productive year than some I've had before. I still did things with my dolls, just not at the same speed, and for a good portion of the year, about half my collection was put away. It's only in the last few months that I started getting some of them back out. My projects were sort of few and far between, but it's been a good year of recovery, and I'm looking forward to what the next year brings. Before I sat down to look at everything I did and make plans for what I want to do, I sorted through my doll stuff and found this cincher I'd made for Pharrell a while back. It's not exactly what I want to finish Kit's outfit, but I think it's a great placeholder that makes her feel like a finished doll, so I went ahead and added it over her outfit until I figure out what to make for her to keep. I had a gold-trimmed ribbon that matched her dress nicely, so I used that to lace it up, and I really like how put together she is now. Getting this doll back out was definitely a good decision, and it inspired me to look through existing doll stuff for Rika too. I made this lace-up layered skirt for Pharrell too, but I think it works well for Rika's vibe. It's got some dirt on it from a previous photo shoot, so I'll need to wash it, but I'll make a new shirt to go with it, and then she'll be pretty put together as well. So before I even look at what I did, I'm already figuring out what I'm going to do next, and I hope that inspiration lasts through all my big ideas. Overall, my collection didn't change a lot, and I didn't finish many projects, but I still made a lot of progress. In February, I finished sculpting and printing a custom head for my doll Garum, who is one of the characters from my epic fantasy book series, The Snake's Blood Saga. In March, I finished Vaughn's armor. Well, not his chainmail, but that's ended up being a nightmare project that I'll talk about more another time. In April, I brought a new doll into my collection, and this chic line has been in storage ever since. The good news is I think I have an idea for what I'd like to do with him in the coming year, but I have some other projects I want to wrap up first. In June, I finished a custom Nendoroid doll of Lark from my epic fantasy series Spectrum Legacy, which was a big deal because the following month I published the last book in that series. It's a hefty book, tied with Paragon of Shadow for longest book I've written, and there were a lot of days I felt like it might never be done. After it was out, August was a whirlwind of activity, making a new mask for Rune, making some adapter parts, getting a Feeple 65 Chloe full set, and completing every single unfinished sewing project in my house. August was also when I did my first book relaunch and ran a Kickstarter campaign to create a hardcover edition of my fantasy romance novel, The Assassin's Bride. This was challenging but fun and gave me exactly the kind of relaunch I hoped for. I sculpted a doll head to be the lead male character from that book too, but he still needs a few tweaks. While the relaunch campaign went well, it also means I need to make sure the whole series is available as matching books because readers feel strongly about matching books. So at the end of January, I'll be relaunching the second book in the series the same way. This is my first proof copy, and it's the first time I've shown anyone what the actual book looks like, so I'm pretty excited about that. Designing this project has been fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. In September, the book campaign ended, and I made a new dress for my doll Lumia after I got her out of storage. It turned out nicely, but I was pretty exhausted after everything I did in August and September, so I didn't get much done in October. In November, I published my second new book of the year, which was The Cinders and the Crown, a retelling of Cinderella where the prince turns into a dragon at midnight, and our heroine chucks a glass slipper at his head. I had a lot of fun working on this over the course of the year, but it did make it hard to get anything done in my hobbies. The last thing I made was Kit's dress in December, which was an easy project, but worked well for getting her looking nice. So with the recap done, it's time to touch on some of the things I hope to do in the coming year. Tall has been down on my desk while I made some decisions regarding the head I sculpted for him. Originally, this was going to be the first cast resin doll head I offered for sale. I learned how to cast properly and did make it in resin, but I only got a few casts before the mold disappointed me and tore. These have been put away in my studio, untouched for over a year, and when I looked at them again, I made the decision that going into sculpting and casting dolls was not for me. So these heads are the only cast resin dolls I'll probably ever have for sale. There were 3, and one sold right away after I put them up on Instagram, so these 2 are the very brief beginning and end of my doll making ventures. I still like making dolls, but I like making them for myself first and foremost. And with the advancements in resin for 3D printing dolls, I no longer see a need to do casting like this just for me. It's sort of bittersweet because it feels like a road I could have traveled if I hadn't had health issues at the wrong time, but it frees me up for pursuing the parts of the hobby I love the most too. I'll be perfectly happy letting go of these and then just printing heads for myself. That's one thing I want to work on in the coming year for sure. I want to revise the head I made for Gil to correct the distortion that came from sculpting in the wrong display mode. I still need to do a face-up for Garum now that I have his printed head color matched to what his dyed body will be. And then the head I've sculpted for his sister Sarah is just about ready to be printed as a final version using nice doll resin. Other than that, I'm not setting a lot of concrete goals because I don't know how much free time I'll have. I hope to finish and publish 2 books in the coming year. I want to spend time working on art projects too, and I still need to spend a lot of time working on health goals. But there are lots of projects that will definitely keep me busy, like these Elfier mods to finish before Faral can have her finished Dreaming faceplate. The rest of the collection probably won't change much in the coming year, but that's okay. If I can get a few outfits done and a few more dolls put together in ways I'm happy with, that's good enough for me. Most importantly of all, I want to find some balance that lets me enjoy all my creative projects while still taking care of myself, and that will be enough of a feat. And that's all for today though. Thanks for watching. Bye.